What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's in the mix with Jaylah. I'm Jaylah, and today I have a very juicy story time for you guys. But before we get started, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get into the video. Alright, so as you guys can tell by the title of this video, I will be talking about the time I got ghosted after my first date. Yes, I got ghosted. And I'm gonna just put this disclaimer out there, like, getting ghosted is like, I hate it. It's really like a pet peeve, and I don't really get upset about a lot of stuff, but I don't like being ghosted because I just feel like that's whack. So I think that's it's not the worst thing a person can do, but it's definitely up there, like top 5. Don't ghost anybody, because yeah. And I'm not talking about, like, you know, you just meet somebody 1-2 days and they just stop talking to you. Like, that's not ghosting to me. I just feel like that person wasn't into you. So yeah, but we are gonna start. Where are we gonna start? Okay, so I started talking to this dude like right before Christmas. We met on Bumble, and it was kind of like my first time being on Bumble. And if you don't know, like, if you're a girl and you log on to Bumble or whatever, you have to make the first move. So let's say if you and this dude connect or whatever, you have 24 hours to, you know, say hey, say what's up, or say anything to them before that person goes away, unless they extend their time and you get another 24 hours. So anyways, so I met this dude on Bumble. I don't remember his name, but I know the first letter of his name started with a T, so we gonna call him T. So I met T on Bumble, and we was kind of talking. It was like a little on and off, like, well, not on and off. It was like, you know, I would say hey, and, you know, a few hours later he would say something, and kind of like back and forth, because we were just talking on the app. And then, like, maybe like a week or so later, he was like, you know, give me a number or whatever. So I gave him my number, and we was starting to text like every single day. So I'm like, cool. And I'm not the type of person to like fall in love after talking to somebody for 1 day or 1 week or whatever. I'm not like that. So we was just talking. The vibe was really, really cool. And, you know, I was really liking where things were going. And so we did FaceTime a couple of times, or maybe like one time or whatever. And, you know, he was really cool. Like, he would compliment me every single day. So when we were starting to text like consistently, like every single day, he would call me like, you know, beautiful, pretty, you know, all the normal stuff. And so, you know, things were really good. So we FaceTime one day, and he was like, and I was like, oh, do you want to go somewhere? Because, you know, texting back and forth, I'm not really big on texting. I don't really like to text. Like, if you need me, call me. If it's not urgent, then, you know, you can send it in a text, but I have things to do. I'm not gonna sit and text all day. So yeah, we were on FaceTime, and I was like, you know, we can go somewhere. And he was like, oh, well, we can go to the movies. Now, I'm not really big on like movies being a first date thing, because I think that's kind of awkward, because you're not gonna really talk that much. Just like, you're gonna sit and watch the movie. But I was like, okay, that's cool. If that's where you want to go, that's fine with me. So this was this was like on a Tuesday. And so we were texting, you know, throughout the week or whatever. And, you know, I didn't bring it up again, because I just feel like, you know, if he really wants to go out, then he'll say, hey, like, yeah, you want to, we still going to the movies. And so it was J15, and he was like, yeah. So we were going to go out on J15. That was a Friday. And so, you know, I'm getting dressed or whatever, and, you know, things are good. I look good on J15. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you go watch that one. That was a really good video. And yeah, so we were supposed to meet at, it was like 7:30, 8 o'clock or something like that. It was cold. And so what happened? Yeah, okay, so I get dressed or whatever, and he was like, okay, text me when you leave the house. So I texted him. I left the house or whatever, and we met up at the movie theaters. And, you know, first time, like, yeah, we FaceTime, but, you know, it's a little bit more nerve-wracking when you gotta meet somebody in person. So, you know, I pull up to the movie theaters and, you know, he hop out of the car, I get out of the car and we hug or whatever. And it was like, the vibe was just really, really cool. Like, he was really nice and, you know, open doors and stuff like that, like a gentleman should. So, we had to wait like 15 minutes before the movie started. So we was just talking, kicking it, like really getting to know each other more than what we was, you know, talking over, you know, text messages and phone calls. So everything was cool. It was great. Like, I liked it. And then, you know, we went and watched the movies, and we was legit talking like during the whole movie. Like, we was cracking up because the movie was good. We went to go see The Marksman. It was a okay movie. It was good, but you know, it was so. So, you know, we talking during the movie or whatever, just really having a good time. Like I said, the vibe is cool. Like, nothing feels rushed or like, you know, nothing felt like, oh, I don't really want to be here. Like, I felt comfortable. You know, it was really cool because, you know, I'm gonna put this out there, like, a lot of dudes do not know how to date. Like, they be trying to do too much. Like, we don't gotta talk about, you know what, on the first time we start talking. Like, get to know me. You don't even know my name and you want to talk about, like, okay. So he wasn't like that. So, you know, like, our conversations were just really laid back, cool. Like, it was cool. That's all I can say, because the vibe was just good. Like, nothing felt rushed. So yeah, so we at the movies and we chilling. The movie was really good, and it was like a 2-hour movie or whatever. And like I said, we was pretty much talking the whole time during the movie. So then after the movie ended, you know, we get up and we leave, and he was complimenting me during the movie as well. He was like, he asked me, he was like, how long did it take you to do your makeup? And I was like, oh, it took me a little bit, you know, because I'm new to doing makeup, so it took me a little while. And I was like, yeah, it took me a minute because I had a wig on. I was like, yeah, it took me a minute to get my wig together or whatever. And he was like, oh, well, I hope I don't waste your time. And I was just like, sir. And so I was just like, okay, like, he seems really interested. And I'm like, I just feel like people don't compliment you every single day, and people don't, like, you know, try to get at you like that if they really don't want to get at you. So yeah, the movie is over, and I'm sorry that I'm jumping, like, you know, commentary and stuff like that, but I'm just saying this is how the vibe went. And so yeah, the movie is over, and, you know, we're walking out, and I was just like, you know, if you ask me on another date, we can go on another date. Like, it's cool. Like, I don't mind. And so he was just like, I don't even remember what he said then. But yeah, you know, like, we get in the car and we go home. And I had called my best friend, and I told my best friend, I'm like, hey, yeah, I just went on a date, you know, like, I kind of like him, you know, I like the vibe, I like where stuff was going. And because I did something different this time, like, I didn't let, like, my line sisters know or my best friend. I really kind of wanted to see where this went, because, you know, I don't like getting my hopes up to be let down. You know, I just try to avoid all of that. I wouldn't say I put a wall up, but I kind of do, because I'm not for the foolishness at all. I don't like to play games, you know. So yes, unless, you know, we really like that. And so anyway, so I was just telling my best friend and my line sister, I was like, yeah, like, I kind of really like him. Like, he was real cool when we met. Like, you know, things were really nice. Still not trying to, you know, jump to boyfriend status, but he was really cool. So the next day, he texted me, and he was like, and I got all the text messages in my phone, y'all, just so y'all know. So the next day, he texted me, and he was just like, you know, I really enjoyed my time with you. And I was like, okay, yeah, like, I enjoyed my time with you too, because I'm not the type of person to make that first, like, move. Like, I let people, you know, if you come to me and say it, like, I'm good, like, okay, then I'll, you know, tell you what I'm thinking, but I'm not the type of person that's just gonna like, cause you never know what people gonna say. And like I said, I don't like, you know, people hurting my feelings. So I didn't say anything, but he said it unprovoked. He was like, I really had a nice time with you. Actually, let me just get the text messages so you can know what he really said. Because yes. All right, so yeah, here we go. He was like, we was talking about the football game because it was the playoffs or whatever. And then he was just like, I really enjoyed my time with you yesterday. I meant to ask you earlier if you wanted to go get drinks. By that time, it was already 9 o'clock at night. I wasn't going nowhere. I would have had to do my face and put, you know, do too much. I wasn't going anywhere. I was like, no, but, you know, we could do something tomorrow if you want to. And he was like, okay, tomorrow's a chill day. If you want, you can pull up and watch the game with me or something. And I was like, all right. And so me, I'm real cautious because, you know, corona and stuff like that. Just so many issues. And I live with older people, so I just don't like risking, you know, and I ain't never, even though I hung out with him, I still was kind of cautious going to his house or whatever because I didn't really know him like that, but you know. So I was just like, sure, like, yeah, I can pull up to your house or whatever. That's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that. So, all right, y'all. So I'm sitting here editing the video and I noticed that it cut out a part. So right before this next part, I said that earlier that day I texted him to see what his address was because I didn't have his address and he didn't text me back. And then the next part comes and I texted him and then you'll see. Sorry y'all, my camera cut off. But like I was saying, I had to go to my uncle's house to help one of my cousins do something. So I was pretty much over there all day. So I really didn't have time to leave and go watch the game at T House. So after that, let me see. Let me just make sure I got my thoughts together. Like at 8 o'clock, around 8 o'clock, I texted him, what you doing? Still no text back. So then I FaceTimed him that same night when I was leaving my uncle's house. And so he didn't pick up the phone. So at this point, I'm kind of getting, you know, a little worried because I'm just like, that's not like him. Usually when I text, he either texts like right back or it'd be like a couple hours later, no big deal. He ain't text me back. So then the next day, I text him again, and I text like the eye emoji because I'm like, okay. And at that point, it was around 6 o'clock, and I had told my best friend and my line sister, I'm like, he ain't texting me back. Like, I'm getting kind of worried because usually when you get used to a routine and stuff, and somebody do something that's not in the routine, you get worried. So my first thought wasn't like, oh, he doing something. Like, my first thought was like, is he okay? Because that's just the type of person I am. Like, I was just wondering, was he good? So then I text him the eye emojis and still no reply. So I had to work out that night because it was a Monday. I had to work out. So my line sister was like, well, do you want me to FaceTime him or call him? Because she lived in another state, so he wouldn't know that area code. So I was like, yeah. I was like, if you pick up this phone, I'ma know something. So sure enough, she told me, she was like, yeah. She called him the first time, it like went straight to voicemail. So she called him again. And he picked up the phone. And she said she hung up. And so he called her back. And the point was not to talk to him. The point was to know that he was still alive and well and that he still had his phone, because my messages were getting delivered. So that means you still have your phone. You just choose not to answer my text messages. So she said he called her back and was like, you know, they was having a weird conversation because she didn't know what to say. And so then they hung up or whatever. And so at that point, I'm like, yeah, yeah, your girl just got ghosted. And I'm just like, that's whack, because I just feel like what Toni Braxton said, be a man about it. Like, if you don't want to talk to me, if you don't want to skate with me, kick it with me, none of that, then that's what you should have said. Because I promise you, my feelings wouldn't have been hurt, because sometimes one person may feel something and another person might not. And that's okay. Like, that's cool. But don't do something cowardly and, just not text that person back, because that's just really whack. So the next, I sleep it off because I'm just like mad at this point. Like, I'm fuming because I just think that is so whack. So I'm talking to my sister, then I'm talking to my best friend, and they like just telling me some good stuff, and I'm just like, yeah. So then what pissed me off is the next morning I look and I see that he read my little eye emoji text message, because his read receipts was already on. So I saw that he read it. So this sent me to the 10,000th level, because at this point you're being disrespectful, because you saw me text you what you doing, you saw my phone call, you saw my next text message, and you still decided not to say nothing. Okay. So then I text him, because I had a whole paragraph written for him. Like, I was about to go off, and I really don't like that, because I don't like when people take me out my character, because I'm really such a nice person. I don't bother nobody. I be going about my life fine. And so I texted him. I erased what I had, because y'all know us girls, I had a whole paragraph, then I erased it, and I was like, look, all right. So I texted him, I'm gonna give you one last chance to say what the F is up, because ghosting someone is really disrespectful AF. So he still ain't say nothing. And then I was about to send the paragraph that I already had up, because I just think that it's just so rude to like read my messages and still not say nothing. Like, so I was pissed off. And usually me, I don't hold grudges for long. Like, I can be mad for like 1 or 2 days. After that, I'm over it. So I was just like, you know what? Because he ended up reading that same text message too. So I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm going to take my L in peace, and I'm going to keep moving, because at the end of the day, the show don't stop. I'm not going to stop, because I still got stuff that I'm trying to do with my life. So, that's his loss at the end of the day. Like, he knew what was up, I knew what was up, and that's just that on that. So, like, a month goes by or whatever. I'm minding my business. I ain't thought about this man, ain't texted this man. Like, not even on my radar anymore, because I'm me. So, then on February 9th, that last text message that I sent was on January 19th. On February 9th, this man decides to text me and say, good morning, shawty. I was looking to hire you to help me on my business social, and wanted to know if you were interested. For those of you who don't know, I'm a social media manager, so I help build people's social medias up and all of that good stuff, and I'm very good at my job. So when I saw the text message, when I saw the number, because mind you, number ain't saved, was never saved. So I see the number pop up, and I'm like, why is this man texting my phone? So I read the message, and I'm just like, excuse me? So, I call up my mom. My mom was downstairs. I went downstairs and I told her, because I told her that he ghosted me. And she was like, what is wrong with him? Like, what is his problem? Like, why is he on my phone? And I was like, girl, I don't know. I ain't thought about this man. I ain't texted him. I don't know why he on my phone at all. And so she was like, do we need to... I was like, listen. But I was just like, nah, we good. So I texted him back, and I was like, how we gonna make money and you don't know how to communicate? Because, sir, you would have to text me for us to make money, and I'm serious about my money. And see, I don't need people who just gonna go off and not think about stuff. You know, when it's about business, it's about business. I don't got time for this. So I see that you can't text me back, so why would I want to do business with you? And that's just keeping it 100. So then he was like, so would you like to provide your services in helping me expand my company socials, or are you not interested? Sir. So I texted him back and I said, nah, I'm good, but you can go respectfully, because I'm a respectful person. But you know where you can go, because you can't do that. That's just not cool. And to be honest, y'all, I was really upset before because I didn't get to like say my piece with him when he wasn't texting me back. I was just like, all I could tell was my best friend and my sponsors and my mama, and like those are the only people I can talk to about it. And I told my cousin, and you know, once he get involved, it's over with. So yeah, I was just like, I was really upset because I wanted to have the last word. But when he ghosted me, I couldn't have the last word. So yeah, I was just like, this is my time. It's Jayla Anderson to the floor, because I was ready. God prepared me. I was ready. So yeah, I told him, I'm like, nah, but you can go to hell respectfully, and you know, it is what it is. And he told me, may peace be with you, love. And I was just like, peace I already had it. Like, I'm good. I'm Gucci over here. Like, peace, I have peace every single day of my life, okay? So yeah, after that, he ain't text me no more, and I ain't text him no more, and that was just that on that. And all I have to say about him is just like, you know, well, just about ghost, like I said, about ghosting in general, like, just don't do that to nobody. I feel like that's very hurtful. When you can just really say what you feel, like, say how you feel, like, it's really not that hard. If you don't want to be with somebody, like, that's cool. And like I'm a very understanding person. I'm not one to jump to conclusions. Like, if you let me know, say, hey, you know, I feel like we would be good friends, but, you know, I'm really not just feeling the vibe. Cool. Like, I completely understand. I've done it to people myself. So it's just like, you know, we could have still been friends, and I would have been cool with that, because he was a cool person. But now it's just like, I see how you move, and I don't want to move like that, because that's just not the type of person that I am. So yeah, y'all, that was just the story of the time I got ghosted after my first date. And honestly, it was a learning lesson. And honestly, I just learned, you know, be careful who you talk to on these dating apps, because a lot of times these dudes is weirdos out here, and that's just point blank period. But that is it for today. Let me know in the comments, did you enjoy this story? Would you like more story times? Tell me what your favorite part of the story was, because I want to talk to y'all. Also, we are on the road to 1K, so you might want to join the team, because we're popping 24/7. That means you need to hit the subscribe button and hit that post bell notification so you're notified any other time that I drop a video. And that's going to be it. Bye.
Popping out my feelings, get to the money. Gotta keep it 100. Leaving you ain't really took nothing from me, so don't come looking for me.